Hi everyone, Jack from 英作文会話 Community here again. 英作文会話コミュニティでは TOEIC や英検対策のレッスンを始めました。今日はこんな風に進めていきますよというサンプルビデオを作りましたので、どうぞ最後までご覧ください。Alright, let's get started. Alright, so here we are in the lesson. Thank you once again, Reiko-san, for joining us and helping us. And yeah, we are going to be looking at some questions from a TOEIC practice book, official TOEIC listening and reading. So you can check out that textbook if you're interested, but let's get started. Okay, so we are going to be looking at questions 113, 114, and 115. So these are all grammar questions. We can do any type of practice you want. So if you want to practice long reading sections or anything, we can practice that. But for today's video, we thought it would be best to look at grammar questions as they're a little shorter and easier to read. So that's what we will be looking at today. So Reiko-san, let's get started with question 113. First, why don't we start? Will you please read your sentence and tell us what answer you chose when you're reading it?
Okay. Yeah, actually, I chose A.
Okay.
So, Ms.Tomato generously offered to share the result of her research with the planning board.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, very good. Were there any words in the question that you didn't understand?
Almost everything. But
okay.
only the word I didn't know, generous and generosity, generous.
Okay. Why don't we start with, we can kind of break up this question into two parts.
Okay.
So the first part is this part here. Miss Patel, something, something, offered. So here we have our subject, Miss Patel, and then we have something, something, and our verb, right? Offered. So this is kind of one part. So yeah, let's look at these words. So yeah, let's first start looking at letter D. I know you chose A, but this is kind of like the base form of the word, right? So we have generous. So do you know what this word means?
Now I know, but I thought it's 一般的, general.
General. Okay, yeah. So different word, unfortunately. Very similar spelling, but yeah. Generous is not general, but it means very nice. So usually this means like someone who is willing to give something to help others. So to give money or give time, right? This is a nice person who is doing a nice thing. And it's
Is
almost
it similar to the meaning with kind?
Similar, but when we use generous, it's always has a feeling of giving someone. So it's kind of like he generously gave me money, or he generously gave me advice. So it is similar to kind in that a person who is generous is kind, but generous has the nuance of giving something. Is that okay?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult because I don't think there is an exact way to translate into Japanese, right? So you can kind of remember this as giving something kindly, right? Giving something kindly is a good way to remember. So D is kind of the base version. So this is an adjective, keiyoshi, right?
A is
D is keiyoshi, right? And then A is the noun version. So yes, meishi, right? So generosity. It's not used as much, but yeah, this is the noun version. And so B, most generous, is just this is like ichiban, right? The most generous. And then C is ly. So this is an adverb, right? Fukushi, right? Generously. So let's go back to this little part, right, of the question. So we have Miss Patel, something, something, offered, right? So like I said, offered is a verb, right? And so the word that comes before this needs to describe this verb or add information, right? So which grammar is correct? What type of word should we use with a verb?
Adverb.
Exactly. Yes. So which answer was an adverb?
Generously. Generously.
Generously. Yeah, perfect. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so we actually only need to read this much of the question to choose the correct answer, right? So this is just grammar. Yeah, but very good. So now let's look at the second part of the sentence. You don't have to look at this part when solving, but for our example, let's look at it. So this is what she offered, right? So this is the main action, offered. And whenever we offer a thing, we would just say, Miss Patel generously offered me a drink, right? We would just say a noun, right? But here, she's offering to do something. So we always use to after. Offered to share. So this is tell, right? Share kind of here means tell the results of her research, right? So this is what she is sharing, what she is telling with the planning board. Did you understand this part? Planning board? Yeah, so board here actually means like a group of people. Usually this is like at the top of a company, people who make decisions. So maybe like the CEO and the president, right? Usually we have a group called the board of directors, right? So in this case, this board, this group of people are for planning, right? So some kind of like senryaku in a company.
Team, like.
Yeah. Team is another way to look at board, but board has a feeling of like high up in the company, like powerful people, right?
I see.
But yeah, team is a good way. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so here, Ms. Patel generously offered to share the results of her research with the planning board or the planning team, right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So when you're solving this, though, if you want to solve it quickly, you just needed to read actually this first part and you could solve the question. But very good. All right.
Yeah.
Should we move on to question 114?
Okay.
All right. So again, will you please read the sentence and tell us your answer?
Okay. I also didn't understand this.
Okay. Yeah, I should say, actually, we chose these specific questions because, Reiko-san, you did a whole bunch of practice questions, and when we were looking through this, we noticed that these three were difficult. So that's how we chose this. So you got a bunch right, and we chose the ones you got wrong.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, I will include in my wrong answer. The training session will begin 15 minutes right then. Miss Stump, it's really difficult.
Yeah, it's a strange name.
It's still in a meeting.
Yeah, I think this is Stumpf.
Stumpf.
Yeah, this is very strange spelling. Usually we don't have this many consonants in a row. Okay, so you chose B then. Okay, so you said you had a little trouble understanding this question. So how about this first part? The training session will begin 15 minutes late. Is this part okay? Is there anything you don't understand here?
I understand.
Yeah, okay. Something. Miss Stumpf is still in a meeting. So
that is really confused.
Yeah. So we kind of have part 1 and part 2, and we need to connect these somehow, right? So to figure this out, let me ask you. Who is Mrs. Stumpf? Like, what is her job, do you think?
Yeah, actually, I didn't understand who Miss Stumpf
is. Okay. Okay, let's think about this together. So, Mrs. Stumpf, this word comes in part 2, right? Part after the blank. So, this tells us information about her, right? So, we know Miss Stumpf is still in a meeting, right? So, she is in a meeting, right? And probably she is going to be related to the first part, right? So we have a training session, right? So we can think of this as like class, right? Like some kind of training. So probably Mrs. Stumpf is like a teacher, right? She is the person who will give the training session or teach the training session, right?
I thought training session and meeting is the same. So it's
Yeah. No, I think in this situation, the students for the training session are waiting for Mrs. Stumpf to finish her meeting.
I got
Is
it.
the situation, right? So Mrs. Stumpf is in some kind of meeting, and it's probably running later than expected, so she can't come to the training session on time. So the
Okay.
training session had to be delayed 15 minutes.
She's a teacher.
Yes.
Teacher or leader or something.
Yes, very good. So let's think of this as this is the result, right? We have the training session will begin 15 minutes late. And the reason is because the teacher, Mrs. Stumpf, is still in a meeting. Very good. Because, right? You said because? Yes, very good. Yeah, so the training session will begin 15 minutes late because Mrs. Stumpf is still in a meeting. This is perfect. So, what this question is asking us is, which one of these 4 words means because? Right?
Yeah. I still think B.
B?
is
Okay.
correct.
So, then. So, let's talk about this word. So, then can sometimes be used similar to this, but you need to remember then with a pair. So, we always say if, then. We always pair if with then. So, if the question was, if Mrs. Stumpf's meeting is late, then the training session will begin 15 minutes late. We could say it like that. If she is still in a meeting. But here we're not using if, so B is strange. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so let me write right here. Always used with if.
そっか。I got it.
Yeah. So, because we didn't use if, B is incorrect. So, how about the other answers?
Yeah, C and D doesn't suit.
Yeah, definitely not or but, right? So, yeah, we're left with A and A is correct. So, this is a little bit formal. Usually when we're speaking, we would just say because. But if you want to be a little more formal, like in an email or something, you can use as to mean the same thing. So, the training session will begin 15 minutes late as Mrs. Stumpf is still in a meeting. Is correct.
Okay.
So let me circle the correct answers.
Oh.
So A is correct here. Very good. All right. Any questions on this question? 114? Oh, where did my...
Oh.
Okay, there we go. Any questions?
Nothing for now.
For now? Anything you're unsure of at all?
But I doesn't get used to use as instead.
Yeah, so it's exactly the same as because. It's exactly the same, but it's a little more formal. But the grammar is the same, like the order is the same. So let's talk about the word so. So also means the same as because, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the special thing with so is the order would be different. So instead, if we used so, I would say Mrs. Stumpf is still in a meeting. So the training session will begin 15 minutes late, right? The order switches,
Yes.
right? But if we use because, it's this order, and same with as. As is the same order as because. So it's almost exactly the same as because, just more formal. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
I
great.
understand.
All right, then let's move on to question 115. So again, will you please read the question and tell us your answer when you're reading it?
Okay. Skyspan Airlines compensated passengers whose flights to be cancelled due to crew shortage.
Very good. Okay, yeah. So this word is compensated. Can you say that? Compensated.
Compensated.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. All right, so you chose B,
B.
whose flights to be canceled due to crew shortage. Okay, so first let me ask you, was there any part of the question that you didn't understand?
Compensated.
Compensated, yeah. So this is the difficult word here. So it basically means pay, to pay someone. So if you want to say like the company paid the worker their salary, right? We could also say the company compensated the employee. So
that is paid passengers.
yes, exactly.
I see.
Paid passengers. This is just a little more difficult of a word. And one slight difference is this is only used when it's like an employee or a company is paying someone for like work or for inconvenience, right? Mendel. So if you go to the convenience store and you pay the cashier the money, right? You buy something and they say, it's 1,000 yen, and you say, here you go. You could not say compensated. We would say paid. Compensated is if you did work or the company caused you inconvenience, right? Like here, we have.
Is it the reference?
Refund.
Refund.
Refund. In this situation, yes, but it's not always the same, right? So if we say the example, let me just write. The company compensated the employees for their work, right? So here, we could not use refund, right? Because they worked, right, and did something. So the key with compensated is you did work or you were caused inconvenience and they paid money for that. So let me write this. So compensated, paying for work or for causing inconvenience. Ooh, spelling. Let me check. I don't think there is an exact translation for this word in Japanese, so rather than trying to pair a Japanese word with this, please just remember this in English, right? This is paying for work or for causing inconvenience.
Okay.
So in this situation, there was inconvenience caused, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, okay, but I don't understand the sentence meaning.
Okay. Yeah, so let's think of it like this. Skyspan Airlines. So this is an airplane company, right? An airline. Let's say paid passengers whose flights something.
Now I understand the meaning.
You got it?
of the sentence.
You got it?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, good. How did you figure it out?
And the passenger got some money or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
Compensated.
They were
They are
compensated.
Compensated.
Okay. So, because something, right? This is the flights. What happened to the flights? So, we know the main word here is cancel, right? All of these answers have canceled. So, the flights, what happened to the flights? We need to choose our answer.
Yeah, it happened before. So
Exactly. So looking at compensated, we see this is past tense.
I
Exactly.
see.
So which one of these answers is past tense?
Yes, only C can
Exactly. So that is correct. Whose flights were canceled due to crew shortage. So crew shortage means there were not enough crew members. So crew is like the people who run the flights. So the stewardess and the pilots and stuff. That team on the airplane is the crew. And shortage means not enough. Very good. Yes, very good. But again, you could figure this out just by seeing compensated is past tense. So this also needs to be past tense. And the only answer that is past tense is C, right? So this is also canceled. Ooh, I'm sorry, I have a spelling mistake here.
To be cancelled means in a future?
Yes, exactly. If we say to be, that means in the future. Even though this is canceled, to be means in the future. So very good. Very good. Any questions on this problem?
No.
You okay?
Okay, I understand.
All right. Excellent. Very well done. Okay, oops.
Oh.
Okay, there. And yes, so the correct answer here was were canceled. C. Excellent. All right. If no more questions, then let's wrap up the sample. So thank you so much, Reiko-san, for helping us again.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, of course. All right. And good luck with all your studies. But let's head back to my usual camera and we'll wrap it up. Thank you so much again.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
レッスンが終わったら授業の中で書いたメモと授業に使ったテキストの一部を音声にしてメールでお送りします。シャドーイングやディクテーションのぴったりの教材になりますので、ぜひご活用ください。And that's the video! 最後までご覧いただきありがとうございます。最初のレッスンは半額で10個できますので、ぜひ下の説明文にある英作文会話コミュニティのリンクからレッスンを受けてみてくださいね。That's all for this video though. Thank you so much for watching and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!